So basically, I'm just going to kind of sum up and read a common theme we saw in some of the questions, which was how to transition. And Anna Grace is perfect for these 2 questions too.
I'm excited.
Great to be here. She's the best advice giver ever.
Thank you.
So one of the questions was like how, or a lot of them kind of themed around how to transition after college. Like that like spot, it's almost like that awkward little timing where you're like 23 or 24 or so, you just got out of college. 22, how old are you when you got out? 22, 23, and you're transitioning from college to the real world. You're getting your first job, you're joining like a corporate world or whatever that means for you. You're not waking up and going to class every day and then partying at fucking Theta Zeta house. You're like going to work. And so what is that transition? How do you kind of like navigate that? And honestly, mine was coming to Nashville. So that was my immediate transition, and it was weird. Like listen, nobody wants, I don't care what anyone says, like nobody wants to wake up and go to a job at 9 and like get done at 5. Like it's sticky. It's like also feels rewarding, but like I remember being like, fuck, college was pretty fun now that I think about it. And I didn't really love, like I was like, college, class, whatever. And then you like have to do that every day and you're like, damn, dude, class wasn't so bad. Like, fuck. And so it's like, it's hard. It's hard to make that leap and that transition into the real world. So, I mean, if I had to give any advice on it, I moved to Nashville and I literally just I was trying anything. Like I say, try not to stick in a job. If you're really just unhappy with the job, this is the time to figure it out now. There's no sense in staying in a job for 4 years just to try to stick it out. And there's a lot of older people and older generations who are like, don't quit a job too soon because on your resume, it'll look bad. And then your next employer will be like, well, I see you were only here for a year. What happened there? But that's like almost a little dated. Like no one's really being like pressury like that anymore. Like I would just be like, it was a toxic work environment. I didn't enjoy it. I found myself doing better elsewhere. So I decided to not waste time on my resume and waste time in my life and move. And I don't know, I feel like our parents' generations are very against that. They're like, stick it out. Everybody hates their job and hates their life. It is what it is. Come home, feed your dog, go to sleep, wake up and do it again. You're like, fuck. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, if you are not happy in your job, if you're listening to this right now, you're 23 and you just started your first corporate job and you're like, I got my first big girl job. I posted about it on Instagram. How awkward if I quit now? It's not awkward. Fucking quit.
Oh my gosh. You literally
quit.
When I was going to quit my job, the first corporate job I ever had.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I hated the job. I was working, I don't even know if I should say this. I'm like, legally, I was working at a law firm.
Oh, me too.
Shannon and I both had a first
so
job.
Weird. And I hated my job too.
No, but here's the thing. Like I literally
I always get fired.
I literally went into it being like, I have a fashion blog. I mean, I just was so clueless getting interviewed. And I'm like, I was a journalism major. Like every single one of my strengths was absolutely not needed for the job. I don't know why they hired me. I think they couldn't get any other poor person to like fill that spot because they're like, it was just running Excel spreadsheets. I told them, I'm like, I'm borderline dyslexic. You don't want me anywhere near a spreadsheet. And they hired me. So you know what? That was on you guys.
That's on them.
So like month 6, and also keep in mind, this is like his 4th assistant that he'd had in like 6 months. He calls me in with the compliment Sammy. You know the one.
You hate it.
Anna Grace.
Not the compliment Sammy.
The team loves you. They love your energy. However, nobody trusts your work. It's like we always have to go and check. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to do Excel and I don't know how to do math.
Yeah.
This is a common theme. I don't know how. I told you that in the interview.
Yeah.
But you're super positive and we know you can do it if you get another try. And I did not prepare this. I swear on my life, I didn't tell my family. And you know, your family getting a corporate job, like
it's a big deal. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people listening right now are like, I couldn't possibly quit. My parents like took me to a Mexican restaurant to celebrate me getting this job.
Yes. Oh, I looked at it. I laughed after the compliment Sammy. And this is like 2 or 3 times where I had like blundered around. I really didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, you know what? George, let's say the conversation. His name's George. George, you are so right. I am terrible at this. And he's like, he's kind of nodding with the you're so right. And I was like, I quit. And he was literally like, what? And you could tell he was like, fuck. Oh,
damn it. No, yeah.
I mean, did.
But you had to have moments like that.
I didn't even give 2 weeks. I literally balled out.
And that's another thing. When you're young, honestly, just quit. You know, no, it's respectful to give 2 weeks. I mean, if you can handle it, do it.
This
but
situation, it was different. But
I really, truly, to my core, just believe that like that transition is when people, it can either make or break you in that young 23 to 24, really 25 sandwich years. Like, you have got to just like drop anything like it's hot until you find something that sticks that you like, because I know it's like that old saying that it's like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. But like, I love what I do. And I know it's obviously not a super super common job. What I have is a little bit off the rails here, but like when I worked in corporate and stuff, like I would quit. I honestly like bounced around a lot, because if I didn't like it, I wasn't happy. I'm just not the person that can like show up every day with my fucking coffee mug and be like, rah, 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 rah. I can't do it. Like, I don't want to do it. That's not the life that I want to live. And I feel bad for the people, because listen, way easier to quit after 6 months or a year than quit after 5 years. And then you have 5 years of unhappiness in your belt. And you're probably honestly not being a very good friend to your like boyfriend, husband, friends, or whatever, your parents, because you're probably just venting nonstop about work. You're probably coming home from work and bringing your work home and being like, I hate my job. I hate this. And you're not happy. Like, if you're looking forward to Friday through Sunday, like way too much, then like your Monday through Friday shouldn't literally be the worst days of your life. You should still enjoy what you're working and doing, and it should still feel rewarding. So if you don't feel any of that, like, listen, nobody, like I said, when I have to do work and clerical things, I'm like, but like, I still enjoy it a little bit and find it rewarding when I'm finished. If you don't feel even a sliver of any of that, quit. So I guess I kind of jumped around a lot, but in the transition period, it's your time to be like selfish, and don't listen to the older generations who are like, that'll look bad on your resume. It just like, it doesn't really anymore. Everyone understands.
And also the climate has changed. Like, so many more jobs are remote, and there is a lot more movement.
Yeah.
I think and to give people advice that are like, well, I don't have a choice. I have to be in this job, or I have to be in this corporate sector or this area. And I'm not trying to knock corporate jobs. I've had a corporate job.
Yeah,
my
me too.
whole family works corporate jobs.
Yeah.
But it's finding someone in the workplace that you could see as a mentor, or you could see like, oh wow, this is a really valuable skill set I can learn from this person. There's mutual respect there. It's when there's no respect for you as like a person coming into the job. That's when it's like, okay, you should leave.
No one should be saying like, oh God, like she doesn't know what she's doing, the confidence, and no one trusts your work. Like, those aren't nice things to hear.
I was so disrespected. I was like, goodbye.
And I think you're young at 23. You should be somewhere where you're learning every day. So if you're like not having the time of your life, but you know that being in this job is helping you gain actual knowledge, lessons, and skill set for your like furthering your career, stick it out. Yes, you should be learning and you should be challenged every day. But I just am not here for people who are genuinely unhappy. And then like another question, and I can kind of let you hit the forefront on this, was pursuing something that you're really passionate about and having the confidence to kind of go outside the norm. So this is like, let's say you're working a corporate job, but your dream was to run a fashion blog. Like Anna Grace, exactly what she did, you know, but you're like, what will people say? And let me tell you, anytime, if you're going to start to be an influencer or any sort of sector in the world we're in, someone out there, I don't care, I know they did it to me too, someone out there is screenshotting it and sending it to their friends, maybe even some of your friends behind your back, being like, wait, like who is she talking to on her Instagram? Like, I'm dead. Who is she just said she was going to link something? Like, no one asked. Like, that will happen because those people are just sad and like upset with their lives. So you're going to have to just put those in your fucking rear view, because you will get made fun of. Everyone gets made fun of in the beginning of doing something different that's out of societal norm, because their brains are tiny and they can't understand how they would ever like leave their I don't want to keep saying corporate jobs, because again, I love the corporate world. I appreciate the corporate world for sure. I work with people in the corporate world every day.
Right.
I just mean like anyone that doesn't understand someone stopping what they're doing to pursue a passion or a goal of theirs, their brain is tiny.
Yes. And I really have been on a kick about this. I recorded a YouTube video kind of similar, but I'm going to
you guys check out her YouTube and her Patreon.
Yeah, sorry.
Plug,
that was like
plug.
a shameless plug for myself.
No, never shameless.
But I am so like, if you have a passion or an interest, I always tell people that it is on your heart for a reason. Like, I have different passions and interests than Shannon, like obviously the sound bath and stuff.
She loves a sound bath.
I love a sound bath, but here's the thing: Shannon doesn't, and that's okay, because if we all love the same things, we would all be spinning in circles doing the same shit.
Truman
It'd be
Show.
so boring.
It would be so weird.
I always tell people, I'm like, even if it is something so oddly weird and specific, but you were like, I am gung ho passionate about, I'm telling you what, the followers, the people, the career opportunities will come, because the only thing that you have in this lifetime is like people, your energy, right? People, if you're sparked and excited about something, it doesn't matter what you're talking about.
They feel that.
They're like, oh my God, she is so excited about solar panel tomato gardens.
Yes.
I'm intrigued. Like,
and there will be, maybe everyone that follows you is not, but you will find your niche people who are interested in solar panel and tomato gardens. And like, you will find them. And they will find you is what it will, because your energy will be so large and grand. They will come to you. They will magnetic. Find you.
Because if you're excited about things, people genuinely, like, people get excited about things that I'm excited about, and I know they're not like
into it. She'll be so hyped on something. Like, and I'm like, that is so cool. Entities, interesting. And I'm like, I don't really care, but like, she's so jazzed that I'm all of a sudden jazzed. And I'm just happy.
And I give this example because I'm not kidding. One night I was on TikTok, Shannon, there was a person who was peeling a boiled egg. This guy is an egg peeler, egg artist, an egg.
Okay.
And he had 50,000 followers and like 20,000 viewers. 20,000 people stopped what they were doing to watch this dude peel an egg.
You did.
So I want you guys to know that this person, all he does is peel eggs.
He found his niche.
And then I posted about that on my Instagram because I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's really passionate. And honestly, I respect it.
Yeah.
And this girl was like, you know what's so funny? I started doing this hot chicken sandwich review as a joke on my Instagram story. She's like, I'm not an influencer. People started demanding more every Sunday. Like,
you could tell someone enjoyed doing it. You want to see more of it.
If there's something that you like to do, and I always tell people, if you want to go on your Instagram story and you be like, what's up, guys? I know there's only 30 of you here right now, but like,
I have friends that do that.
Yeah. Like, hey, I'm going to review this. Like, people, here's the thing. People love it. If they don't, they're going to leave and whatever. And if you're passionate, the followers, the people, the job, it will come.
Everyone started somewhere, and that's also cliche, but it's just true. And like, I remember like talking to my camera, and I know for a fact, like, girls that went to my college were like, literally, like, who is she talking to? Like, she's like, hey guys, and everyone's like, hey guys, like, who are the guys? And I was like,
cyberbullied.
Hey guys, there will be guys eventually. People will tune the fucking. I just know they will. And guess what? Welcome to my fucking cooking show. You're all here. Okay. We're all here.
They did.
So they did. And it just takes being like, you guys are just not like happy with what you're doing, and you're making fun of someone doing something that they feel good doing. That's icky. You're icky. You're gross.
And I always tell people, like, this is my best advice. I had to have a sit down conversation with my own family. My family was like, you don't even like being photographed. Like, but I was so passionate about launching my styling career. I'm like, here's the deal. I need all of you guys to zip it. I'm going to still work my corporate job. And on the weekend and my nights off, you are going to take my photo when I ask you, and you're not going to make fun of me because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have to.
I remember my parents when I was making absolutely no money, which also, if you want to go into this career at first, you're going to make no money. So just buckle up. And my parents were like, maybe here's this crazy concept. You should do something else. And my dad was like, well, my mom and dad were like, we can't keep giving you money. Like, they weren't like, we're cutting you off, but they're basically like, this is it. Like, you can't keep calling us to me like, I only need $126 for rent this month. Like, and remember last month I needed $300. This month I have all of it except for $126. That's all you guys have to give me. They were like, we can't do, like, we're not doing that anymore. You're 23. Like, you've got to figure it out. And I was literally like, so broke and honestly like stressed out 90% of the time, but I stuck through it and was like, I'm gonna do this. I know I can do it. I'm gonna do it. And that's advice. Stick it.
Yeah. If it's like, you know, in your gut, like, this is what I'm supposed to be talking about, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, that's really how I felt. I was like, I will have a following. Granted, it took me 3 years before I made it my full-time job.
She's literally grinded. I always talk about Anna Grace, and we can wrap this up. Sorry, I know this has been a long-winded podcast. Who? Us?
Us, Chad.
Never. So Anna Grace is someone that people ask me all the time, like, how did you get your following? I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. I went on a reality TV show and got like 200,000 followers overnight. I had built it up a little bit before then. I really did have a good of a following before the show, but realistically, like, I got that instant little, like, it was like my viral moment, like people have on TikTok and stuff now. Anna Grace has grinded from the bottom to where she's at now, which I feel like is the top of what she's doing. But I'm biased. But like, literally, that is someone who did not stop. So don't stop.
I worked a corporate job. I worked for Free People in urban corporate. Like, I was in corporate and worked other jobs the whole time I did this for 4 years.
I'm sure more than half the people listening to this work a corporate job. We're not shading corporate jobs.
I'm saying you can do both.
You can do both. And yeah.
And if you want to turn it into more, you can.
You totally can. And if you're so happy in your corporate job, then that is also happy. One of these days, I might find a corporate job and be super happy.
Honestly, I miss my Urban Outfitters discount. Let me tell you what.
Queen.